Hi BookTube, my name is Juan. I am just one reader and I am very excited to be finally presenting you with my London book haul. So I went to London because I was chosen to present a paper at the International Psychoanalytical Association Congress. This is a huge international conference with psychoanalysts from around the world, and I was very lucky to be chosen to present a paper there. And so I decided I might as well have a little trip, a little vacation time. So I went there and I was in London for about 11 days. And so the Congress only lasted for 3.5 days. So I really had a week to myself. And most of my time there when I was free, I went to bookshops. I went book shopping. I find it really interesting how they call them bookshops instead of bookstores, which is the American way that I have learned and internalized. But anyway, so I went to every single bookstore that I could think of, that I could find, that I could get recommendations about. And many of them were from you guys, from people here on the BookTube community who gave me great tips. So thank you if you gave me some recommendation about where to go. I certainly listened to you and took your advice. I also did some wonderful bookish things that I wanted to share with you. I have some footage that I will show you in a minute of bookshops, but also, for example, I went to the Charles Dickens Museum. That was amazing. I never thought I would like that experience as much as I did. And I went to the place where the bookstore Marks and Company was, from the book 84 Charing Cross Road by Helene Hanff. And it's now a McDonald's, which is sort of sad and kind of ironic in a weird Shakespearean way. But I was there, I was able to see the little plaque that they have, the little sign that says this was the place where the famous bookshop Marks and Company from 84 Charing Cross Road used to be, made famous by the book by Helene Hanff. So I was able to have that experience and many other experiences that were bookish and just wonderful. So what else did I do? Well, I also went to the theater. I am a big theater nerd, as you can probably tell. I have an altar dedicated to Stephen Sondheim. And I saw 3 musicals. The first one was not that good. It was Everybody's Talking About Jamie. I thought it was a little plain. Then I saw Wicked because my friend hadn't seen Wicked, and even though I have seen Wicked like 7 or 8 times, I am always game for Wicked. And I went to see Wicked. I thought it was good, but I did not enjoy it as much because I guess I'm missing the surprise factor. It just doesn't surprise me anymore. Although I do have to say that Defying Gravity is wonderful every single time. Just, when Elphaba is flying and rising and she's singing, "It's me, so if you care to find me." That's always wonderful. That never loses its magic. But then the third musical that I saw was Hamilton. Guys, I died. I had a heart attack. It was the most spectacular theatrical experience, or one of the most amazing theatrical experiences of my life. I was speechless. It was even better than I thought it would be, and that is saying a lot because I mean, if there is something hyped in this world, that is Hamilton. But it surpassed my expectations. It was amazing. But anyway, enough chatting about my vacation. Now I'm going to show you the bookshops and the books that I bought. I do have to say, I am not going to show you my psychoanalytical books. I bought a lot of psychoanalysis books because London is a great a great city for psychoanalysis, and so you can find a lot of things there that I could never find here in Mexico. So that was great, and I bought a lot of them. However, I'm not gonna bother you with the psychoanalytical books that I got. There were many, and instead I'm just gonna show you the bookshops that I went to and the fiction and non-fiction books that I got. So let's begin with my London book haul. So the first bookshop that I want to take you to is Waterstones Piccadilly. This is the largest bookshop in all of Europe, and it is impressive. It is a beast of a bookshop. It is 6 or 7 floors high, and it has every book under the sun. It's astonishing. I went to this particular bookshop maybe 5, 6, 7 times. I just kept coming back to it. Some things that I really liked about this particular store was they had a lot of Everyman's Library editions, which are just beautiful to look at. It's like walking into a museum. They also had a big display of P.G. Wodehouse books, little books, which are really colorful and vibrant, and they had a really cool Philip Pullman display, sort of preparing for the release of the new the Book of Dust book. So let me show you the footage, and then I will show you the books that I bought at Waterstones. So the only book that I got from Waterstones Piccadilly was The Parasites by Daphne du Maurier. You know that I love Daphne du Maurier with all my heart, and I should seriously read everything that I can by this author. I think maybe one day or one year I will just read Daphne du Maurier, and that's all I'm gonna read. I'm gonna be on a reading du Maurier diet. I love her so much, and I really want to read more of her works. So being there and seeing all these wonderful du Maurier books, it was overwhelming. And the only one that I bought here was The Parasites. This is about 2 siblings who grew up in the shadow of their famous parents who were performers. And now they are pursuing their own creative dreams, but they are sort of under the shadow of these performer parents, and there's a lot of family secrets involved. And give me a good story about performers in a family, and I am sold. So I am very excited to pick this one up. Now, the next bookshop that I will take you to is one of my personal favorites. I did not buy anything there, but it was jaw-droppingly gorgeous. It's the very famous, and it was very close to my hotel, Daunt Books. This is a bookshop, I mean, that is famous for classifying their books, not by author or by genre, but by place, the region or the zone. So the books are arranged like Africa, America, the United States, Latin America, and you can literally find both fiction and nonfiction, everything there sort of mixed together, but about the same place, which I think is wonderful, and the bookshop itself is beautiful. So take a look, Daunt Books. Okay, so the next bookshop is Hatchard's. Hatchard's is a big London staple. It is supposed to be the oldest, most ancient bookshop in town. It's supposed to have opened in 1797. And it definitely looks like it, and it feels like it's been there forever. You walk into this beautiful regal shop in this wonderful building that feels ancient, and you walk there and everything is so classy and so elegant, so sophisticated. Everything is so well put together. There are flowers on display. They have beautiful displays of books. The building itself is wonderful to look at, and you walk and you feel the floors creaking and crinkling under your feet, and it's such a wonderful and magical place. The only things that I bought from Hatchards are two books that I will show you when I show you the footage. But yeah, Hatchards is another bookshop that I kept coming back to time and time again. It's just one of those buildings that feel haunted and magical. So take a look. This is Hatchards. Look, I don't believe in God, but I do feel like walking into Hatchards gave me the same wave of overwhelming emotion that walking into the Vatican must be like for a Catholic person. It was a temple. It was amazing. I bought four books at Hatchards on different occasions. I just kept coming back to the bookshop. It was amazing. And they also gave me this beautiful bookmark. So the first book that I got there was Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. And I know what you're thinking. Juan, come on. Did you really go all the way to London to get a copy of Rebecca? And the answer is yes, hell yes, because I love Rebecca. I loved it when I read it about 5 years ago. I've always wanted to reread it again. And the only problem is the edition that I own, the copy that I have is hideous. It looks like awful. It's a mass market small paperback with horrible cover art, and I've always wanted a nice copy of Rebecca, but the really luxurious deluxe editions that are out there are not to my liking. They are red and corny and flowery, and I don't like them. But I found this one at Hatchards, and this is more gothic and dark, and I had to have it. The other book that I got was The Ascent of Rumdoodle by W.E. Bowman. So Hatchards has their own collection, their own sort of series of really well-beloved English, British classics that they are printing, and they are part of this very select elite, if you will, Hatchards library. It's what is called Hatchards Library, and this is the new addition to that collection. So this is a piece of British humor. It sounds hilarious and funny, and it's sort of a satire on Britishness. And what I love is these books are so beautifully constructed. The cover, the artwork is really beautiful and elegant, like everything Hatchards, and they are numbered copies, so you can feel very special. Then the other books that I got at Hatchard's were The Diary of a Nobody. Again, this is another beautifully constructed book. And I decided to buy this because it felt very British and very regal. And it felt like a Hatchard's book, you know? And then I looked at in the back, and it has a quote from Evelyn Waugh saying, "This is the funniest book in the world." Come on, if Evelyn Waugh says that, I am buying it. And then this one has a very funny story. So I was at the cash register desk. I was paying for this one. And the bookseller who was helping me took this book for me, and he said, "Oh, I really like that one, but you know which one I love even more? The Diary of a Provincial Lady." And I was like, wait, what? Is that really a thing? Is that an actual title? Did an actual human being think of that book, The Diary of a Provincial Lady? And he started laughing, and he said, yes, it's amazing, it's super funny, it's super quirky, and you have to read it. And I told him very sincerely, you know what, you have to give it to me right now, because I am a provincial lady at heart myself. So he started laughing, and he went and got me a copy of the book, and that's how this book came into my hands. I made a fool out of myself, but I don't care. So that is Hatchard's, A Temple. Now let's go to Foyles, because this is another book temple and a big staple of London. So Foyles is located in Charing Cross Road. It's actually just down the street from where 84 Charing Cross Road would be. Actually, I'm gonna show you footage from the 84 Charing Cross Road sign, which is on a little plaque that's on the wall, and then I'm gonna show you Foyles.
This is it, guys. This is 84 Charing Cross Road, right here. Don't throw bouquets at me. Don't please my folks too much. Don't laugh at my jokes too much. People will say we're in love. Now this is Foyles.
So Foyles is so unbelievable. I think it was the bookstore that I visited the most. I went there, I think, pretty much every single day that I was in London, except for the days of Congress. So I must have been there, and you know, some days I went on several occasions in the same day. So because you know, it was located in a very convenient place, so I would walk from somewhere and I would find Foyles and I would go in, and then on my way back I would go in again. And so I probably went there 10 times at least. And it's a bookshop that you walk in and you immediately feel like you're there. I don't know how it's the same feeling that I get when I walk into the Strand in New York. It's that kind of grounding experience. I don't know how to describe it. I'm crazy. Anyway, I bought 4 books in Foyles on my different trips, on my many trips to Foyles. So the first one is French Exit by Patrick DeWitt. This is a signed copy, which is very exciting. And I wanted to pick this up because Sarah has always recommended it. And it sounds exactly like my kind of story. It is about these two New York socialites who are, I think they are New York socialites. I think so. Anyway, these are two peoples who are incredibly snobbish and pretentious, and it's a hysterically funny, hilarious, and super over the top dramatic riches to rags story, and I've heard great things about it. So that was the first one. Then I bought another book that is supposed to be absolutely wonderful to read. I've heard great things about it from people here on BookTube, and that is The Diary of a Bookseller by Sean Bythell. This is nonfiction. It's the musings and thoughts of this I think he's English, I think he's British bookseller who is writing down these really quirky thoughts, and I've heard great things about it. So I've always wanted this book, but it was very, very difficult to find from Amazon, and now they have reprinted it, so this was available. And then I got two Sarah Waters books because I feel like Sarah Waters is, again, very much like Daphne du Maurier, is an author, for me, is an author who I feel like I've only read just a tiny, tiny section, a tiny, tiny portion of what they have to offer. And I know that, just like du Maurier, she's a writer that I will always enjoy for different reasons, maybe. But I've always enjoyed her work, and I feel like I will enjoy everything that I read by her. So I wanted to buy more, but I didn't want to buy everything. So I only chose two. The first one was Affinity. I've heard great things from Mercedes. Mercedes Bookish Musings has always talked very highly about this book. And then the other one is this beautiful edition of Tipping the Velvet, which was Sarah Waters' first debut novel, and it's a beautiful hardback, cloth-bound, embossed cover. It's really beautiful, and I really love the font inside as well. So now I finally have two more Sarah Waters to look forward to. So that was Foyles. Now, I visited many bookshops in London, many bookshops, but I'm only choosing the most spectacular ones or the most visually interesting ones to show to you. So the next one that I'm going to show you is, I don't remember the name. I think I went to several bookshops that were all on the same street, on Charing Cross Road, very, very close to Foyles. And one of them was called Henry Powell. The other one was called Any Amount of Books. And there was another one. I don't remember the names because I visited a lot of them. But they were this sort of beautiful antiquarian and secondhand bookshops, and I found some gems in them.
I have often walked down this street before, but the pavement always stayed beneath my feet before. All at once am I several stories high, knowing I'm on the street where you live.
I know that some of that footage was not even related to books, but I wanted to share it with you guys anyways, because London is the second greatest city in the world. Number one is New York, of course, but yeah, it's a great city. But anyway, in these rare antiquarian and secondhand bookshops. By the way, you also saw some pictures of Scoob, which is a great secondhand bookshop in, I don't remember, very close to Russell Square, which I really enjoyed. I bought two books that are beautiful, and they were so cheap. So they are like rare finds. And they are two Folio Society editions, which I've always wanted to have, and these are my first two. So the first one is the beautiful, just look at this. This is so pretty. This is the, what's it called? The Folio Book of Comic Short Stories. And this is just lovely. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful book. And it includes wonderful illustrations with great color, and it features the best writers in the world, if you ask me, like Charles Dickens, Oscar Wilde, O. Henry, P.G. Wodehouse is here, Dorothy Parker is here, Evelyn Waugh, Muriel Spark, Anthony Trollope, everybody who's anybody is in here. So now I finally have a good anthology of comic short stories to look forward to, which is great because I enjoy reading comedy like nothing else. It might be my favorite genre of fiction, honestly. If something makes me laugh, that is a gem. So anyway, the other Folio Society book that I got is so beautiful. Look at this. It's so shiny. This is the short stories from the Strand book. So these are stories that were published in the Strand, and it features some people that you might have heard of, such as, I don't know, Arthur Conan Doyle. Does it ring a bell? I don't know, H.G. Wells, O. Henry, Joseph Conrad, D.H. Lawrence, P.G. Wodehouse again, Aldous Huxley, Rudyard Kipling, just a few, just to mention a few. So this is another anthology that I'm really looking forward to. It's also illustrated, although the illustrations are not as beautiful as the other one are. But yeah, those are the two Folio Society editions that I got finally, and now they are mine. They are part of my collection. Okay, so finally, the last bookshop that I want to show you, and again, I had to curate all the material, all the footage that I gathered from London to fit into this video, which is already way too long. But I wanted to share Persephone Books with you. So Persephone Books is another London staple. It's a very small but beautiful and sophisticated independent bookshop who are also their own publisher or printing house, or I don't know how else to call it, but they print their own books, and they mainly publish old gems, old treasures, mostly female writers, and the story itself is beautiful. Their editions are beautiful. I'm gonna show you the one that I bought. I allowed myself only one, and the place itself is magical as well. So take a look at Persephone Books. So this is the lovely Persephone Books, but it's closed right now. So I'm gonna come back in 30 minutes. Shame on me. I am realizing just now that I never took video from inside the shop. I guess I must have been very excited when I actually stepped inside, and I forgot to get some footage. I forgot myself, I forgot everything. I just lost myself in this wonderful place, and I started browsing and I forgot it. But what I can show you is the book that I got, and that is Mariana by Monica Dickens. This is a kind of Persephone classic, a Persephone staple. And when I bought this and when I paid for it, the bookseller looked at it and she said, "Oh, Mariana." And her reaction to me buying the book made me so happy. You know, she was enamored. Her look was a look of love. And that look by itself made me feel very, very happy that I had bought this book. So this is supposed to be about a woman called Mariana living in the 1930s, I think. And that's all I remember from what this book is about. I have heard great things about it. And look, I have to share just how beautiful these editions are. Look at the end papers. And then each Persephone book comes with its own Persephone bookmark, which matches the end papers. So carefully done, so tasteful. And I think these editions and the store in general was the definition of a sophisticated, very tasteful place. So that's what I got from Persephone. I only allowed myself one because otherwise I would have bought everything. And those are the books that I purchased while visiting London. Again, I went to many other bookshops that I cannot show you right now because this video is already way too long. But believe me, I went to every single bookshop that I could find and that I could think of. So those are my books. I'm really not sure which one I'm gonna read first. They all have something that is calling me to them. The Diary of a Provincial Lady is just looking at me like winking its eye to me. But anyway, thanks for watching this ridiculously long video. I loved going to London and I loved filming all this footage for you guys. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any comments about the bookshops or the books themselves, please let me know and we can have a conversation. Thanks for watching. I am Just One Reader.